Welcome back to Imperfect, the Heart-Centered Leadership Podcast. And yes, we are back on video, and what a treat I have. I have to introduce you to Casmé Carter. 2 weeks ago today, I saw this beautiful heart-centered servant leader on season 19 of The Voice. Her story is compelling. She's a community builder, a philanthropist. She comes from a large, loving family. So Casmé, I am beyond delighted to have you on Imperfect, the Heart-Centered Leadership Podcast.
Hi, hello. No, I am honored, Deb. Thank you. This is a humbling experience. I am truly at, a loss for words because God is moving and he's connecting me with so many amazing heart-centered people and people who love people and love to love. And so this is what I went on that show for, things like this.
I got goosebumps. So I know you were born and raised in New Orleans, and I'd love for you to share with everyone watching. You've got a large family, and I know your parents really taught you how to be a servant leader, and they took you to poverty-stricken areas. So I'd love for you to share a little bit with us from a young age. What did that mean, and what did you learn?
So I am the oldest of 8 children, born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. It is 7 girls, which is a big part of why my heart always gravitates towards young girls. I'm a big sister, I'm the oldest. So I have this mother, and I also realized that I was born in an extremely blessed and loving household. My parents taught me that hurt people are hurt people. I was bullied even up until college because people just thought I was too nice. They wanted to walk over me. But my parents, they taught me what love looked like. And a lot of that is loving on people, forgiving people, helping people in their times of need. Mm-hmm. So my dad would take us into the projects, developmental areas, and feed people. And it would be something just to see how hungry some people really were. And it's like, wow, you don't think about that when you're in your own little square, in your own little bubble, in your own home. My dad wanted to show us that we were blessed to have a meal. We weren't rich. Both my parents were entrepreneurs. My mom did mostly everything in home, made our clothes. She's very good with her hands, make anything, draw anything, design. My father was a landscaper, a paint contractor. When I was able to work, it was with his company. So I cut grass, painted houses for a living for like 10 to 12 years with my dad. But even then, when we would be out, if he saw somebody on the street corner, he would stop and feed them, and just so loving, so giving. Mm-hmm. Mother the same way. Anytime there was little girls around, she wanted, on top of all of her own kids, she's pulling neighborhood girls in and starting a girls club. And we would go out and sell lemonade to make, a little money for us to go on like a trip to the zoo or something. My mother was just very compassionate about children. My father was very compassionate about homeless. And that mixed together is Casmé. That's who I am. That's who I've been. It has been an honor to help people, and my ministry is my music and my mentoring.
Well, I love that, and it was so evident to me 2 weeks ago when I watched you sing. I had goosebumps, and I want to say this for people watching. I told my family I was going to reach out to you, and they laughed, and I said, she's on social media, I'm going to send her a message. And you were so gracious and said, yes, this is who I am. Let's do it. And talk to your PR person at NBC, and here we are. So just want to encourage people to never think that someone's going to say no. When you are like-minded and you align with other heart-centered leaders and you're a servant leader, worst case scenario, you could have said no, but here we are.
And why would I say no? Like, this is amazing. For me, I have been praying. And since a little girl, I've just always had a heart to help people. Mm. Any opportunity on a platform is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to show people who you are, to introduce people to hope and to love and inspiration. And more than ever now, we need that. There's so much going on in the world. And I went on this competition not to compete whether people believe that or not. You know, I did not go on there to compete, to beat anybody, to show anybody off or to show off. I simply just prayed for a platform to do what I love and to show people who Casmé is, who I've been. I've never changed, and God honored that. And that's why I'm one of 40,000 people that auditioned who actually made it.
Well, I love that. And congratulations, because I know John Legend turned his chair for you. And I just, I think you landed up with the coach that you were meant to land with. And
Period.
he's such a kindred spirit. I mean, all the coaches are amazing, but
Yeah.
sometimes there's just those serendipitous moments where you don't know why, much like us being here right now in this
Yes.
moment.
Yes.
And it was just meant to be. So excited to watch your journey on season 19. I'm going to switch gears back to leadership. I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
I know when I watched your story before you sang on The Voice, you shared that you founded the All Girls Club and a magazine that inspires young women.
Yes.
Give us a little glimpse into where the idea and aspirations and passion came from, and I'll make sure that everyone gets all the details below when we post this, but
Okay.
just so intrigued and would love to hear a little bit more about that.
Okay, so Daughter of the King, I'm sorry, my lipstick is, Daughter of the King, it originated as my album title. I didn't know what I wanted to name my album, but I knew I wanted to talk about love in all different facets. Okay. So love of people, love in a relationship, loving yourself, and loving God. And when I was working on one of the actual tracks off of the album, I listened to the track and it had this really fun, exciting vibe. And God just started speaking to me. He was like, okay, you deal with young girls a lot. So let's do a song like basically like a young girl talking to guys that are trying to hit on her, and they're putting all this money in their faces and they're saying, I got all of this muscles, and it's basically like, you know what, I'm a daughter of the King. My daddy has everything. And stop speaking of God, has everything. So if you're going to try to come with me, you better come correctly, respectfully, and all of those things. So when he put that into my mind just for the song, I was like, that's going to be the name of my program, Daughter of the King. I want to teach girls their value, their worth, so they can understand that you can't just come at me any kind of way, and that's in career, that's in businesses, that's in life, period. How you carry yourself matters, because people will respect you accordingly. And so from the album Daughter of the King and the song Daughter of the King, the mentoring program shifted from the old title, which was For You Mentoring, where we dealt with 4 issues: suicide, self-love, rape, and what was the 4th one? Self-esteem. So it transferred from For You Mentoring to Daughter of the King, where it was strictly working with young girls and teaching them how to live a life of royalty, not being stuck up, not being a diva, but being a servant, being kind, being loving, and things of that nature, being classy, respectful. So it went from the mentoring program to a safe house. Now, I don't have money. I don't have a lot of money at all. I have resources and I have a mouthpiece. So if I need something from my girls, I'm not a 501c3 yet, because I couldn't even afford to get that done, because somebody was like $1,500. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm an artist, okay? I'm still trying to get there. I'm not quite there yet. And any money I have, I'd rather make sure that girls have toiletries and they have things they need for school and things like that. So just prioritizing. But I know the money's coming. I know God is going to bless everything, but me, I'm a type of person, when God puts it in my spirit, I go for it. So we did the Daughter of the King Safe House, because so many girls in the area where I lived, they didn't have a safe place to go home and do homework. A lot of those young girls are in homes where their parents are not even there. Between the hours of 3 to 6 o'clock, a lot of mischief happens between little girls, little boys. Let's be honest, like nobody's watching them. The parents are at work and they're home from school. So we started the Daughter of the King Safe House, fed them every day they came after school. It was just a safe place for them to come do homework, relax. And of course, I opened up the Daughter of the King book. We would go over some of the manners and the safety and things like that. And then from that, the magazine. I said, look, can we get these magazines in schools? Can we get this magazine into clinics and hospitals, anywhere where there's a group of young girls? And the goal was to find women like yourself, Miss Deb, who are out here using your influence to inspire. No matter how big that platform is you have, you're using it to inspire other people. And I didn't care if they were a celebrity in the city or if it was a little girl in the high school who is making sandwiches and bringing it to her students who need it, like I did in 3rd grade. You know, so I wanted to find those people with a heart and a platform to help others. And that is what the magazine is all about.
That's beautiful. And I love that you had an inspired idea and you just added your ignited passion, and look what you've done with your messaging. And I can only imagine how many young girls you've mentored. So congratulations.
Thank you. I know that was a lot, but that's the story.
No, it's wonderful. So I always ask all my guests, what imperfections do you feel you bring to your heart-centered leadership?
And it's crazy because a lot of people will say that that I'm prideful. Like my mom sometimes says that I have been prideful in the past because I won't let her in when I'm having a rough time. I look at it as me not wanting to be a burden to anyone, but it's not a good characteristic to have, to shut down and to try to figure out and deal with things on your own. Yeah. So I had to learn within myself, if you need help, say something, you know, because when things are great, I'm in the face. I'm, hey, going on, but I'm not feeling so great or I'm discouraged, I kind of tend to just go into a corner. And I pray in the corner, but there are people who love me, who can help me. And I think a lot of people that go through depression, they feel like nobody's going to help them, or they don't want other people to feel like there are problems or there's something is wrong with them. But something is wrong with you. And it's okay to admit that. And I have to admit when something is wrong with me, and that the first step to solving a problem is admitting that there's a problem. So I would say, for me, not being a burden on anyone, but that can be prideful sometimes. So I have to deal with that. And I'm super sensitive, like sometimes to a fault, because just because someone is not agreeing with you doesn't mean they don't care about you or that they're trying to hurt you. And I get very defensive. I get defensive because I'm like, yo, but that's not really the case. So I've been dealing with that internally.
Well, and I think you just brought up a really valid point, because one of the traits for being a heart-centered leader is our vulnerability. But sometimes we have to turn that inwards when we need to be a little bit vulnerable for ourselves. And like you said, receiving that solace that we may need and being able to bounce back and not take things personally and just chalk it up to experience. So that's a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty big for me, you know, and I'm also, because I'm a people person and I love people to love me back, I do take a lot of like criticism to heart, you know, and like I said, I can get defensive, but truthfully, I want to grow and I want to be better. So initially I might be defensive, but then I sit back and I really make adjustments because I do want to be the best person I can be. So I've come to a place where I'm toughening up my skin a lot more. My husband has helped me with that. But I used to be so sensitive. Oh my God, you tell me anything, I'm gonna cry. Like, you tell me I did something wrong, I'm gonna cry. I'm like, no, I didn't mean to do that. You know, like I'm trying to do good here. So if you perceive me wrong, then that's a problem. And I don't like that.
Yeah, but it gives you an opportunity to exude your heart-centered leadership, and you know, you're a communicator. So, but thank you for sharing. So next question, tell us what it felt like in that moment when you knew you were going to be on John Legend's team. Just take us back to that moment. What was, besides the nerves and the adrenaline, what was going through your mind? And when he turned around and then the other coaches turned around, just take us back there.
So when I first got on that stage and I did that was very real, okay, because I had never experienced butterflies like I did that day. The anxieties of just hurry up and then wait. wait. And then I didn't know if I was actually going to get an audition. So me really stepping on that stage and releasing like that was very real. It was like, okay, you're here now, deliver. Okay. I started singing. I was nervous and I was still shaking and nervous, but I had to do what I was born for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a performer all of my life. So it's like I had to just pull myself together and say, girl, this is your moment. Let's go. Kill it. And at first I started looking like, yo, nobody's turning. So that was another moment of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Then John turned and I felt free. I literally felt like I was flying. I was like, whoo, thank you, God. If I could have, I would have. I always wondered, I was like, in this moment, will I just break down and cry? Will I finish the song? What will happen? But I finished the song.
You did. And you know, it's interesting because you brought up two really valid points. The first one is the anxiety and the butterflies. My Irish Nana always told me that we need to have those because that lets us know that our ego's in check.
It's so
right?
true.
And because of COVID, you didn't have this big audience of people.
Nobody.
Right? So just the dynamics of that. But good for you for that self-talk, that self-awareness to say, this is my time to shine, and you did it.
Yeah, because what if I never had that opportunity again? You know, what if that was it? And I was like, okay, God is like, you've been praying for this moment.
Here now it is.
What you gonna do with it, Casmé?
Yeah.
You know,
that's amazing.
Like, yeah, you can pray for something, but faith without works, and you gotta believe. I had to believe in that moment that somebody was gonna turn for me. Okay, y'all haven't turned yet, but somebody's gonna turn.
Absolutely.
Turned, I said, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. So I've got one more leadership question for you. What advice would you give today to a young person who maybe wants to be active in their community, but they're a bit shy or they just don't know how to become involved? What would you say to them?
This is what I introduced to some people around me who said they were uncertain of their purpose in life. They wasn't sure what they wanted to do, what they were good at. I said, well, let's start here. Come with me to a homeless shelter and let's just bring some sandwiches out there. That's it. Let's just get some sandwiches and let's just literally go out there and pass the sandwiches out.
Beautiful.
This person said, oh my God, this was a man. He was probably 25, 26 years old. He said, this changed my life. He said, I had no idea people even lived like this. He said, and the joy from me giving people a sandwich, he was like, thank you. So like, he said it changed his life. So a lot of times we feel like, I don't have a lot of money or I don't have this or that. Partner with someone. I guarantee you, if you Google volunteer services, something will come up. And you can go and sign up, put your gloves on, pass out a sandwich, make a bowl of soup, put it in the, pass it out. There's so many people who are in need. And once you start giving, God blesses you back. And he not only will he give you like physical things and like opportunities, but he will also give you peace with who you are and start revealing that purpose to you of why you're here.
Absolutely.
It happens just like that.
Absolutely. And I was raised that the more you give, the more you receive.
Yes. It's
absolutely. True. I'm going to switch to my Fab Four now. So just four fun questions. Whatever's on the top of your mind. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Question number one. Favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory. I want to say 4th birthday party. I came home. I guess my dad took me out somewhere. When I came home, in the front of the house was Alvin and the Chipmunk cut out wooden characters. My mom drew them, cut them, painted them to look like real life chipmunks. And it was a birthday party for me. I remember it. I loved Alvin and the Chipmunks so much at 4 years old. And when I saw the party, I saw everything. It was just like 4 years old, and I really remember this. It's so crazy. But it showed me that my mom, I mean, as I got older, I realized this, my mom could do anything.
Yeah.
She instilled that in me. Like, we couldn't afford, she would have never been able to afford buying cutouts, 4 of them, you know, for her 4-year-old daughter in the St. Thomas Project area, you know, but she made it, and she made it the most memorable birthday. And they always did that. Her and my dad, like, they took nothing and turned it into something. And I feel like that's a beautiful characteristic that I have too. And so that stuck with me. And it also just reminded me that I can do anything that I want to do if I put my mind to it.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, second question.
Okay.
If you could sing with any artist, who would it be and why?
Bruno Mars.
Oh, how come? He's a wonderful artist.
Let me tell you something. New Orleans, you know, I'm a gumbo artist. I love songs and music with good energy. I love performing. So Bruno Mars, when he came out and I saw his show with the horns and the movements and the costumes, I said, I want to go on tour with him. I literally said, I want to go on tour with him. And so now for you to ask me that, I want a song with him and I want to go on tour with him.
There you go.
Something about that live performance. I want to do it, and it's going to happen.
Okay, can't wait to hear that one.
We speaking it into existence, Deb.
There you go. Okay, question number 3. What advice would you give to the 16-year-old Casmé?
16-year-old Casmé. No matter what, keep loving people.
Mm-hmm.
Do not let rejection stop you from any of your dreams. And do not let any man or boy doing anything for you pressure you into giving them something that you know they don't deserve.
Ooh, that's good.
Yep. And I was 23 when I lost my virginity, but even that, I feel like I still should have, I wish I wouldn't have. It was an amazing person, amazing human being who I thought I was going to marry, but I still wish I would have just held on a little bit longer. My goal was to wait till I was married. And even me and my husband now, we dated for 3 years and we didn't do anything, because when I met him, I told him, I said, listen, this is my heart. I promise God that the next man is going to be my husband. So if you want to be my husband, then you're going to have to wait. If you want to be my husband, because I've already told it to God. So if you don't want to be my husband, then we can make a mistake. Not really, but I'm just saying. But he was like, no, I'm going to wait with you. I got you. So yeah, so I think at 16, just kind of reiterating, having someone to say that to me. And then I never really had like a musical guide, you know, so I had to do all the research and all the hard work pretty much on my own. I didn't have anybody to guide me along this professional path. So just stay true to who you are. Yeah.
Good advice. So my last question is, what do you want your legacy to be?
Ooh, that was one heart-centered, loving, caring, down-to-earth daughter of the king, Casmé. You know, I mean, when I was in school, somebody said, hey, the pages are empty in your book. You get to write it every day. You get to write every day what that looks like. And even for me, I do a to-do list in the beginning of the day, and I do a day at a glance at night, whenever I can, when I remember. Because a lot of times we just credit all the things that we do get accomplished in the things that we do. But looking back at it and be like, oh, I did this, this, and that. Oh, I helped this person. Oh, it makes you feel so good. Oh, I did this for myself. That balance, you know. So that's, to me, that is so important.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm going to wish you continued success on The Voice. I'm going to be excited to watch your journey. And I'm going to leave you with kind of a list of 5 things that I feel we can do to live a purposeful life.
Okay.
Follow your heart. Have passion. Do your best. Know your truth. And always be in love with the journey.
I love it.
Thank you for your time, your expertise, for being a heart-centered leader, and so glad we connected.
Me too. And tell your family, do not laugh at you ever again.
I know, right? Right. Anybody watching this, she's just a person.
We are all human beings, you know?
Absolutely.
If you want something, Deb just showed you, if you want something, then you can get it. You might have to go to some channels. And I mean, I've been responding to people's messages on YouTube, and, you know, I try my hardest to respond to everybody because I'm a people person.
Yeah.
I'm not a perfect singer. I'm a people singer. So I sing for people. I want people to feel my energy and to fall in love with life and go after their own inspirations. So I respond because people are like, oh my God, you responded to me. I'm a human being. Yes, I'm going to respond. I have time. I got you.
Exactly. Well, I want to thank you once again. And I want to thank everybody for watching. This is Deb Crow with Imperfect, the Heart-Centered Leadership Podcast. We'll see you next time.